Cool, guys. Welcome to another episode, Zero to a Million Coaching with Kelly. Kelly, welcome back.
Thanks for having me back. I've been following your journey and I'm excited for you. I'm excited to be on this call.
Yeah, it's yes, what a crazy journey it's been. As I mentioned just now, I can feel the sleep deprivation kicking in, and it's funny while you're working on something so passionate and so inspiring, you almost don't lose, even though there's less sleep, you just feel so much more energized.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It's
That's
been
what happens, right? When you're doing things that you love, it's true, and you will get your energy. Yeah, I'm sure you've been going full throttle.
no, it's been crazy. The amount of stuff that I still have to do tonight after our call is insane. So Kelly, thanks for joining and just being brainstorm. So
Mhm.
just the stuff that I want to maybe go through today is we've got this Guinness World Record ice bath that we're doing, and at the same event we're also going to run the Teenpreneur Viper Spit, where we're going to give the teen with the best business idea the $50,000, and then they can decide whether they want to invest it in their business and actually start it, or if they want to go buy a motorcycle or whatever it is. It doesn't really matter to us what they do with it. Hopefully, through our judging process, we'll end up with a team that would actually use the money to scale their business.
Amazing.
So I want to my idea for raising money at the topic that I want to discuss, making money from that event. What is some of the options? And you're quite good with the brainstorming and thinking up with ideas. So just some of the ideas. My initial idea was to pitch something because it was going to be an entrepreneur ice bath challenge,
Yeah.
and then with a teenpreneur, etc., their parents are going to be there, and which means probably 3/4 of the audience isn't my ideal customer from the stuff that we do. They're not entrepreneurs. They're probably not interested in being entrepreneurs,
Mm.
which means that kind of blows my plan out the water. So we're still on the hunt for sponsors. So this idea is only a couple of days old. So we've been kind of building all the branding collateral around it since we started thinking about it. So we're busy now with the sponsor profiles, which we can chat with it as well. And then I was thinking about selling other people's products and services at the event, things that every person would need. So get in a few guys, for example, that pitch up tents and then take a commission from whatever their sales are. The other option I thought about is just one of the sponsorship packages starts off at like 2,500 Rand, and then maybe 25,000, and then maybe 100,000. So 2,500, then 25,000, and then 100,000 Rand sponsor package. And then getting in maybe 100 of the 2,500 Rand packages, where they can come pitch up their tent and they get basically on top of the emails that goes out afterwards, and then spray 2,500 Rand to be in front of thousands of people for a couple of hours. I think that's a really good offer. So that's kind of our lead magnet thing to get in. The 25,000 would add then a bunch of benefits, which I'll build out after our call. And then the 100,000 is just getting 4 of those guys in, and then they are gold sponsors. So we'll have a page dedicated for them. It'll include some of their marketing assets. It'll include people opting in to receive a call from them after the event, and they'll get basically access to everything. And they'll get pre-event promotion, after-event promotion, and then they get we'll add in something for the final event as well. And so that's all kind of work out. So that is one of the money options. The other option is, like I said, the ice bath, auctioning that off, where we brand the ice bath that we are going to use with the Guinness World Record 2024 hours there sort of thing, and guys can buy a collector's edition ice bath that they'll never be able to get again. and then kind of auction that off through like a silent auction event. Yeah, and that's kind of the stuff that we thought about. So having the sponsors, or then having like coffee station, then saying, cool, you can come pitch up for free. We want 30% of your profits.
Okay, cool.
That's
Well,
some of the ideas that I've had.
let's look at these. So when is this event again?
16th of March. So
March 16th.
in about 20 days.
Okay, so we got time. That's the way I look at it. Lots of time, Eugene. That's lots of time.
Yeah.
Right? Perfect. So March 16th. And your goal is to have 1,000. What is your goal? 1,000 ice baths at once?
It's not going to be at once. There'll be 50 ice baths, and then the guys will kind of go through that. So it's like 20 people or whatever per ice bath. 1 minute in the ice, and then at the same time we're going to do the entrepreneur pitch sort of thing, the teampreneur pitch, while everyone's kind of doing the ice bath.
Cool. So I always just like to look at, I don't know if this is just the way I do things, yet I always kind of like to look at like the bigger picture and then make it narrow. And so, listening to what you're wanting support around, which is, ensuring you have enough people there, right? Such that the goal happens of 1,000. And obviously the audience there is a big part of why the sponsors would want to participate. This is for you to still work on creating your income and your profit, right? How to involve people in community, and then constantly upgrade and upsell to the next thing. And so you touched on this. So this is one thing. Okay, I just want to talk about one thing first. So you talked about how a big part of the audience isn't going to be your ideal customer, which there's some truth to that. Yet let's look at, I want to look at a different perspective with that. So I think sometimes, this whole one-to-many approach. So how do you get a big piece of your audience that actually is your ideal customer, and at the same time relates and resonates with your sponsors, right? And so I think of the markets. What I want to this is what comes up for me for us to brainstorm right now for a few minutes, is if you think of sponsorship and audience, would it be safe to say like entrepreneurship, people, you're doing ice bath challenge, so people who believe in health and wellness, people who are goal oriented, who dream big, all of that kind of stuff. So if you were just to list the different, for lack of better words, markets or avenues where those kind of people hang out. So for example, gyms, schools. So if you and I just brainstorm right now, off the top of your head, where would there be a possible one-to-many approach in those categories? Let's just brainstorm that first, and then I'll tell you what the next layer is. So that's what comes to mind for me is gyms, because all those kind of people like ice baths.
Yeah. So gyms, ice baths, because some of the gyms already have ice baths. So that would be one of them that we also thought about. And then we're printing posters to go put that up. The other one is obviously the schools. So at the entrance of the school, because the school would also get 10,000 Rand to submit the kid that wins. So we say to enter or to be part of it, you need to put this big ass banner at the entrance of your school with a QR code that kids can scan, and then take it through to their parents, or the parents can just scan it. The other thing that we thought about is bigger companies that want to send like their teams to come and do that.
Yeah.
The other one is entrepreneur network groups. So Friday clubs, BNIs, our internal network, and then get our internal network to all invite 10 people to come through to the event. And then, that's kind of the stuff that we thought about. The other thing is also just driving around to all the businesses in our area in Centurion, because it's right here, and literally just popping into each business, cold call or door knocking, whatever. Listen, we running Guinness World Record. Can you submit a team? 5 or 10 or 20 people. If we get 20 companies to send 50 people, that's the goal. Plus, marketing, I think, will generate 500 kids. 500 kids come. then they bring their parents with, and then again, we've got our 1,000 people. So it actually doesn't seem that unachievable just by driving around for a day and getting 10, 20, 30, 40 companies to commit to sending a bunch of their teams over.
For sure. Can I give you a suggestion on what to do that could speed that up? So this is where I was going with making that list, which you've clearly thought about and been doing. And yes, cold market and driving around that's always an option, right? Like for sure. Yet one thing that I've found that's more effective is always playing in your warm market, right? Especially when you have urgency around a goal. Like I know it's March 16th, yet that's pretty close, right? So you want to be urgent. And so there's a strategy you can use where if you, for example, get together with the core group of you who are planning this, and you put all of those avenues we just put at the top, like I see your whiteboard there, like you're like gym, healthcare, schools, corporations, like, so put all of those topics at the top, or like markets, right? And then the question is, out of the group of you, who knows someone in these markets, who has a warm contact where it's one to many? So who knows somebody who owns a gym, who manages a gym, who is a teacher in a school, who's a principal in a school, who knows somebody who owns a chiropractic clinic or a massage therapy clinic, or who knows somebody who's a social influencer with a massive following, who knows somebody who runs a BNI group, who knows. So you start going through the collective group of you guys, and everybody will know somebody in those categories. If not, you'll come up with a list of 5 or 10 people for each one. And I would target them first because they're warm market. And then the person who has the relationship, right, will go to that person and say, this is what we're doing. We would love for you to be in. So now it's like business builds at the speed of trust. You're not like going and spending so much effort knocking on doors in cold market. You're doing the same approach, yet it's just being more strategic with a one to many in your warm market.
Yeah. Awesome. Love that.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. And I think there's a lot of people that's excited about this. They just started reaching out and say, I know this person, I know that person, I know this person.
Yeah. And even with this, you can then offer, hey, by the way, not only do you want to participate, like now that it's a warm market, it's like we've got sponsorship opportunities, right? So you can also like tag team that in there and see what lies for them. Maybe they don't want to participate, yet they want to be a sponsor.
Yeah. What I also thought about is to create that attraction is to have a prize for the company that sends the most spirited team or something like that. So like a team prize. And then say companies come and compete against each other, right in a group of 10, and get some sort of prize afterwards.
That's awesome, Eugene. We have something here like that, where corporations compete against each other in fun challenges, and they come up with team names, and they all dress up in a certain way, like, and you make it really community fun oriented.
Because we're also thinking about like giving out different prizes for the wackiest outfit. That you're getting to the ice bath with the wackiest outfit, and team prizes where teams competed against each other. And then going to big companies that you maybe send 100 or 200 people. So the one company that we spoke to, they committed to 150 people that they're going to send through. So getting stuff like that. If you get 5 companies that sends 150 people, it's kind of done, and we're good.
Yeah, right. There's so many things you could do. So if we go back to how to make the money, right? Like, so I just wanted to share that perspective. Like, don't rule out that the audience could be still a big chunk of who you're targeting, because that's such a big opportunity for you still. Even the kids, like you're looking for young entrepreneurs, right? So you're still putting that energy in there.
Yeah.
Right. So if you did have like a big chunk of that audience to be who you're targeting, what could be some ways you can upsell them?
So if it's the entrepreneur audience, one of the things I was thinking about is, cool, if you're not going to win basically the money yourself, why not buy the book, pre-offer book sales with a course and a one-day workshop and where you can generate your own million.
Awesome.
So come in, basically get your own million rand master plan copy. So that would be one of the things that's kind of top of my list, is to do something like that where they buy the whole process in the book and all that sort of stuff. Pricing points, I'm still kind of figuring that out. I was thinking in the range of about $5,000. Then it's a one-day workshop where we take you through the principles of the book. At the end of it, we're going to sell it for 15, so you can get pre-sale tickets now at a 70% discount. Where you can buy the entire process. When it's done, we'll print you a copy of the book. We'll give you all our ideas. We'll give you all our pictures. We'll give you all our funnels and our landing pages that we built out. We'll save everything on a digital copy as well, so we've got access to all our ad copy, and then so everything we used, you get all of that. And then pre-package that, and then we do a one-day workshop with that.
That's great. Yeah, because I think that's great, Eugene, right? Like, it's still in alignment. You're not having to reinvent the wheel. It's using all the resources you already have, and you're still offering something that makes sense for what your main focus is, which is helping entrepreneurs scale, right? And grow and create profit.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the options framework?
No.
So with everything you're doing, and like you kind of talk about it naturally, yet just so that you can add strategy to it, is to always have options, right? So it's human psychology that if you offer one thing, people are like yes or no, right? So then you're like, okay, it's either a yes or it's a no. If you offer two things, it's like this or that, and then people sometimes don't choose. If you offer three things, right, this is the options framework, the odds of somebody choosing one dramatically go up. I don't know the percentages yet. It's huge. Okay. So with everything you do, like you mentioned it with your sponsors, I'm going to have a 2,500 Rand package, a 25,000 Rand package, and a 100,000 Rand package. Perfect. Right. And you always have like, it's kind of like good, better, best. Right. So now you don't lose somebody who's not able to do the 100,000. Most people choose the middle. So you might get a bunch of people choosing the 25,000, and at least you'll get the 2,500. So it's giving options and then letting people choose and being neutral with whatever one they choose, because at least it leads to the next step. And even if someone chooses the lower one, they're now involved in creating value that you can upgrade them in the future. So it creates more people being involved in the front end of things. And so even with your book idea, like I would have options. So it's like, do you want to just purchase the book? Because a lot of people who are coming there, they might just be like, well, I could spend whatever you offer the book at, I don't know, right? Like 500 Rand. Yeah, I don't want the whole course. Then maybe the middle one's what you just talked about. And then maybe there's a bigger one that involves something like a VIP club or something. Yet if you give options, they'll choose one.
What about the top one, 150,000 Rand? We rebuild everything that we just did with our team, and we rebuild everything for you, for your business.
Right. And you just repurpose your content and the services you already have. So it's not an extra for you, yet you're going to attract people at that higher level as well. Exactly. That would be great.
Maybe one or two people that buy into, will build you the funnels, the systems, come up with ideas, the strategy, all that sort of stuff for you to be able to make. So first one is going to show you, here's the manual. $500, here's the manual. 5,000 Rand, here's the manual, plus videos, plus all our digital assets, plus a one-day workshop. Or if you don't have time and you just want to pay someone to do it for you, spend 150,000 Rand and we'll do everything for you. So show you do it with you, do it for you.
I think that's great.
There'd be a market for people paying 150,000 to potentially make $1 million if we build out everything for them.
I do. If you are focused once again with the right audience, right? If you have people that speaks to.
Because we only need one or two.
That's the thing, right? Like,
one or two.
And the thing is, you don't know unless you offer it, right? Like sometimes we think we by accident assume, right, based on our own money programs or our own like abundance limit, right? Yet offer it, because you just don't know. What do you got to lose? You got nothing to lose by offering it and everything to gain.
Yeah. Yeah, there's actually a whole thing that I'm thinking about. That is, you need to invest 150 into ad spend and instead of, so the 150 doesn't come to us, it goes to basically start building out the funnels and to spend money on social media and so forth. And instead of you paying us 150, or instead of them paying us 150, you kind of just give it to us so we can invest it into marketing. And then at the end of the day, whatever your profit is, we take 20% of it. So
Yeah,
we'll
there's
generate you all the millions and we take 20% of your offer.
that's you putting your credibility on the line, right? Like that's almost like this is we're in this with you, right? Like we guarantee it, this is going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
so
lots you can do with that,
150
Eugene,
comes.
right? Like just play around with it. Yet I definitely would offer something like that. And here's the truth. This is the first time you're doing something. You don't know until you try a bunch of different things, to use the T word. Yeah, really. You got to test
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff out, and then you're going to know this worked, this didn't work. The next event we have, we'll tweak this. Like you're never going to know unless you just implement some of these things that feel right to you.
Mm.
Yet I definitely would have that available because you still don't want to lose your sight of the focus is to help entrepreneurs and business-minded people move forward in their goals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So that's on the book. Other things I thought about is selling VIP tickets to the final event, the final gala. The other, so having some sort of package for that where you get to spend a day with all the speakers and a lot of people that's helped me through the process and. So you get to spend a day with them after the workshop, and that's like $5,000. You get 2 tickets to the actual event, and so forth and so forth. So that's something else I thought about. Something else is selling some sort of retreat, like a 4-day workshop, bushveld retreat or something like that. Then again, to sell it, I need to sell quite a few of those, and to find a place that can accommodate, for example, 50 people would be unlikely. Something else I thought about is a 4-day workshop where we help you build out all the funnels and the marketing and stuff that we used for this. We help you to build that for your business. So help you build out your own funnels. 4 days in a group session. My entire team is there, and they basically help you. Well, the freelance team that's helping me with this challenge, they are there and they are helping you. Bring your laptop with, and we set up by the end of the 4 days, you've got a fully functional funnel and you've got ads running to generate traffic to that funnel. That's the other option I thought about. But I only want to offer one thing. I don't want to be there selling a whole bunch of different things.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think all these are great ideas. It's just choosing, a few, because if you have too many, then people won't choose any, right? And you have so many events coming up though, Eugene. I think you could use all these ideas, yet it's like space them out amongst your events.
Yeah. Yeah, so the 4-day workshop we've already been selling. That's kind of what we've been using to generate cash. Is the guys, Vainant and Abby and all those guys that's been building all our assets. I asked them to spend 4 days with these guys and help them to build basically their own stuff. So I'll work on the strategy and they'll work on the technical aspect of it. So we've already sold 20 tickets to that at 10,000 Rand per ticket.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of what we've been doing to raise our cash, is to sell a
Well,
4-day.
maybe stick with that. That's working. I always say, like, don't reinvent the wheel. Like, if keep it simple and have options. So if that's working, I would say, I don't know, that's something worth looking at, right? And you already have the platform for it. You're figuring it out. You're getting momentum with it. Like, do what works.
Okay, cool. And then something I thought about. So that's the stuff that I can do. I've been, or just a last question on my side, you need to get on, is offering or making money unconventionally. So by either the venue or upselling something, for example, the ice bars or a percentage, or somehow using the venue to make money, or the sponsors, etc. So just out of the box things that I don't actually have to go and deliver on. So
Yeah.
either selling someone else's products or selling someone else's space or something like that. Any ideas on, not the answer to that, just for me to get the thought process going, to think out of the box, just not selling my own stuff or own services, selling
Yeah.
other things that I don't have to spend any time on delivering.
Yeah, because you got to be careful with your bandwidth too, right? Of how much you can take on and offer. Because you also want to be able to deliver, right, on the things you're offering. Uh, um,
So I want
I
to,
would
my goal is to make R1 million out of this event. I want to
okay,
hit my R1 million target
done.
before.
Your goal is done, and then you can surpass it. I like
Yeah.
it.
So my
Okay.
goal is to make R1 million out of this event. Maybe I should do 2.5 million and then I'll make the million.
100%.
Mm.
Stretch your goal, and you're going to hit that along the way. I would
So
say,
maybe something,
survey. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
maybe something for you to. So I don't think we're going to come on the answer now. It's just for me to get through the thought process. What can I do to do 2.5 million? And it's not going to come from me kind of just selling something. It's going to come from unconventional methods.
Yeah. How do
What
you
is
leverage other people's gifts as well, right?
Mhm. So yeah, if you think about something or something pops up in the next week or whatever, maybe just pop me a voice note. Because what I've noticed is I'm good at coming up with ideas. What I'm better at is someone else brainstorming and kind of adds on, and then I can take that and just 10x it.
Okay.
So that's also. But yeah, so just from a thought process, what is maybe a way that I can look at this to think outside of the box? Because when I look at the things to make money, I just keep coming back to things that I offer, my
Yeah.
book, my event, my course. And when I go outside of that, then I'm like, no, I want to sell other people's things. And 10 minutes later, I'm back to my own stuff again. So I keep coming back to my own stuff. And it's almost like I've got a block to come up with creative ideas to sell something else or to use something else to raise money for this.
Yeah, no, I like it. Some creative ideas that come to mind would, one, use that exercise I taught you at the very beginning of masterminding through other
Yeah.
people's vision. So, pick 4 or 5 people and be like, what would Tony Robbins do? What would Elon Musk do? Right? So that could just help you think from a different perspective. Number two, I would just put it out there, like involve people in your process. Maybe throw this question on your social media, right?
Mm.
Like there's so many people out there who have wonderful ideas. Guys, I need some out of the box thinking, which means I need to not think in my own brain, right? Like what kind of thoughts do you guys have? Just throw it in your social media, put it in your business chat, right? Ask other people, hey guys, I'm stuck on this. Like I think it humanizes us when we're growing and we involve other people to say, hey guys, you may have a better idea than me. So I would use your channels. Maybe the people who have already been involved, send out a survey to them or just get them involved so that they feel like they're participating. Like who's already donated money, that 20 people you talked about, ask them, what do you think are some ways that I can make money? Maybe come up with some options and send out which ones would you guys participate in, A, B, and C. That's what comes to mind, just on some avenues you can take.
And just again, the importance of having a coach. I teach this Branson, so I call it the Branson method. And the Branson method is basically pick someone or people at the top and like the mastermind. What would they do? What would this person do? What would that person do? Can't believe I haven't thought about that, or that it's not even popped in. I teach this on a weekly basis, and
It's all
totally
good.
forgot
That's
about it.
why, right? We just need someone to reflect back to us, like what we already know, right? It's like that blind spot in the moment.
It just shows you the importance of this type of stuff. Because the last, something else I thought about as well is this 100,000 Rand sponsor. What is things that you can do for that where people look at it and go, holy shit, I need this. Like, I
Yeah.
must have this. Make it so compelling, so wow, that people just go. So that's something I need to work on as well that I just thought about.
I think that's important, Eugene, right? Because when we have a goal, sometimes it can be about our goal, yet what is in it for the sponsor, right? What value Like, how can it be an extra and an over the top? Especially because if they participate, that's just going to be wonderful word of mouth for yourself too, you know? So I think that's a really great question to brainstorm around too, for sure.
And I think if they get value and they go, "Shit, that was amazing. It's like the best 100,000 Rand we've spent," then we can say, cool. What about sponsoring the final just this time at a much higher price?
Yeah.
And kind of the same package again,
Yeah.
just a lot more value.
Yep. And it's out of the box thinking for sponsors because a lot of times we get caught in the trap of spending our marketing money on the same things, you know?
Mm.
So I think that this could be great for them when we're speaking about being out of the box. And trust me, I just have this belief that people are always looking for what we have to offer, right? You're just looking for the right people. So there's sponsors out there asking themselves right now, gosh, we got to get our name out there and do something different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I need to come up with a compelling offer and then run a ad that goes out to guys looking for sponsorships.
Yeah.
And just say, guys, best sponsorship opportunity of the year.
Yep.
If you're
Where's
looking to get your brand out, this is a must-have. Only 5 spots available.
Yeah. And sometimes swing for the fences too, right? Like in South Africa, who spends money on advertising? Like look around, right? Where for you asking 100,000 from a sponsor seems a bit big because like it's just what you're working towards. Yet for some people that might be small for people who actually purchase stuff, right? So who in South Africa do you already see spending money where it may not be as big of a pitch as in your mind you're making it out to be? It's just more the fit for them, right? Like where they're like, yeah, we can spend 100 on that. You know, we just spent 100 last week on something else.
Yeah, I spoke to 2 other companies. The one did a marketing campaign now for like 2.5 million. And the other company said if it's under 750,000, they don't really look at sponsorships. They only sponsor like the bigger events. So it's actually just rewiring my money blueprint, thinking 100,000 Rand is probably too small for some of these guys. So I actually maybe need a bigger package, maybe a
Right?
500,000 Rand package. Because some of these guys, 100,000 or even 500,000, is like, yeah, that's kind of the bottom end of what we do.
Isn't that funny, right? No, it's
And
true.
also
And
looking,
and or keep those people in your back pocket because as you move forward, Eugene, you're eventually gonna have an event that is gonna require a 750,000 sponsor. So by the way, as you're schmoozing and networking, none of these relationships are gonna go for naught, right? So it might just be not now. It might be that you're holding on to them for later.
yeah. Awesome stuff. Thanks a lot, Kelly. Thanks for your
Yeah.
time again, as always.
Can I add one more thing?
I'm not in
And
a
I
rush.
know that you operate this way, possibly also look where you can do some goodwill. So who maybe is a struggling entrepreneur that you can give a sponsorship for free if they've come and volunteer their time, for example, or like not, I don't believe in like giving tons of goodwill in that sense where all of a sudden now it's the focus. Yet I believe sprinkling what you're doing with goodwill is always karmically amazing. And like our whole, goal in business is to empower people. And sometimes there's just that person who needs the handout, right? Or the hand up or whatever. So who could you give some goodwill to as well, possibly?
Awesome stuff. Thank you. Thank
I
you.
love it. I love it. Every time I talk to you, I get off the phone and I'm jazzed for the day. So just
Yeah.
way to go. Congrats on everything you're doing. And
And we need you in SA. We need
I
to
need
get
to
you
come
in
to
SA.
SA. I need to come to SA. I will come to SA. How's that? I'm coming to
Yeah.
SA. Let's change my
Well
language.
done.
I'm
Setting.
coming to SA.
Awesome stuff.
Have an
Kelly.
awesome day. Keep me posted. I'll think of other things when we hop off the call, of course, right after the fact, and I'll shoot you just my thoughts as they pop up.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Kelly.
Keep crushing it. Okay. Bye, Eugene.
Bye.